Good evening, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next 30 minutes. India-Afghanistan reset ties as External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar holds talks with Afghan counterpart Amir Khan Muttaqi in New Delhi. India reiterates commitment to Afghanistan's sovereignty. Israel publishes list of 250 Palestinian prisoners expected to be released in exchange for hostages held in Gaza as part of ceasefire deal with Hamas. Venezuela's opposition leader and democracy activist Maria Corina Machado wins Nobel Peace Prize 2025. And Olympic legend Carl Lewis lights up pre-event of 20th edition of Delhi Half Marathon, calls Bulls 100-meter world record unbreakable. A historic moment for Venezuela and the global fight for democracy. Maria Corina Machado, a long-time opposition leader and human rights advocate, has been awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. DD India's Rahul Upadhyay gets us more.
In a country gripped by political turmoil, Maria Corina Machado has stood as a beacon of hope. For over 2 decades, she has challenged authoritarian rule in Venezuela, calling for free elections, civil liberties, and democratic reform. Despite facing threats, disqualification from elections, and periods in hiding, Machado never backed down. Her peaceful resistance and tireless advocacy have now earned her the world's most prestigious peace honor.
The Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 goes to a brave and committed champion of peace, to a woman who keeps the flame of democracy burning amidst a growing darkness. The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to Maria Corina Machado.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee praised Maria for her extraordinary civilian courage and her role in uniting Venezuela's opposition. They called her efforts a powerful example of peaceful resistance in the face of oppression.
Yes, Maria Corina. My name is Christian Berg-Harpviken. I am the secretary of the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo. And I'm calling to inform you that in a few minutes it shall be announced here at the Nobel Institute that you will be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025.
Oh my God.
So warmest congratulations to you, Maria.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I have no words. I thank you so much, but I hope you understand this is a movement. This is a achievement of a whole society. I am just one person. I certainly do not deserve this. Oh my God.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee is responsible for the selection of eligible candidates and the choice of the Nobel Peace Prize laureates. The committee is composed of 5 members appointed by the Storting, also known as the Norwegian Parliament. The prize is awarded in Oslo, in Norway, where the Nobel Prizes in physics, chemistry, psychology, or medicine, literature, and the prize in economic sciences are awarded. Born in 1967, Maria Corina Machado, an engineer, activist, and an opposition leader, has led Venezuela's fight for democracy, founded key civil groups, defied disqualification in the 2024 elections, backed Edmundo Gonzalez, and now, in hiding, stands as a global symbol of resistance. She was recently named the Times 100 Most Influential People of 2025. Maria's win is not just a personal triumph, it's a message to the world that the fight for democracy is alive and well. From Caracas to Oslo, her story continues to inspire. Bureau Report, DD India.
In other news, Israel's Justice Ministry published on Friday a list of 250 prisoners expected to be released in exchange for hostages still held in Gaza as part of ceasefire deal with Hamas. The list does not include the names of several senior Palestinian militant leaders seen as symbols of resistance and whose release Hamas had demanded. Earlier on Friday morning, Israel's government ratified a ceasefire agreement with Hamas, clearing the way for release of Israeli hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and start of a phased withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza. The agreement is just the first phase of US President Trump's 20-point peace plan, and there's still a number of sticking points to work out. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, in his address to the nation, warned that the forces will remain in Gaza until specific conditions are met.
But the hardest challenge of all still remains to bring home all the remaining hostages, 20 living hostages and 28 who were taken and killed.
A US judge has temporarily halted Trump's deployment of hundreds of National Guard troops in Chicago and other states 5 days after another US judge blocked a similar deployment in Portland, Oregon. Trump's administration argued the troops are necessary to protect immigration agents and facilities in America's third largest city, falsely depicting it as war zone. But local Democratic officials have said police and other law enforcement are perfectly sufficient, while arguing that Trump is purposefully provoking protest with its heavy-handed operations, putting an obligation on the move. District Judge April Perry said permitting Guard troops in the state would only add fuel to fire, after hearing more than 2 hours of argument from lawmakers for US government to the state of Illinois, which sued Trump administration over the deployment.
Judge Perry did a very careful job of weighing the evidence, weighing the credibility of the evidence and those declarations that served as the testimony to be considered as to whether or not the President of the United States could and should federalize and deploy the National Guard into our great city and our great state. And I think after doing so, she made the correct decision to enter a temporary restraining order.
The Trump administration has proposed banning Chinese airlines from flying over Russian airspace on US routes, calling the current arrangement unfair to American carriers barred from Russian skies since 2022. The move follows Beijing's decision to tighten export controls on rare earth materials vital to US industries, further heightening trade tensions between the two nations. US airlines argue that Chinese carriers gain a cost advantage by flying shorter routes over Russia, while American airlines must take longer, more expensive paths. The proposed ban would apply to passenger flights by Air China, China Eastern, China Southern and Xiamen Airlines, though cargo services would be exempt. Notably, shares of Chinese airlines dipped after announcement as both countries brace for potential fallout ahead of possible Trump-Xi meeting later this month. Beijing criticized the proposal, saying it hurts people-to-people exchanges.
I suggest consulting the relevant Chinese authorities for specific inquiries. The United States imposing restrictions on Chinese airlines' operations is not conducive to fostering people-to-people exchanges between the two countries. We suggest that the US instead reflect on the impact of its own policies on its domestic enterprises, rather than unjustifiably suppressing other nations and making global consumers foot the bill.
The US also imposed sanctions on some 100 individuals, entities and vessels, including a Chinese independent refinery and terminal that helped Iran's oil and petrochemicals trade. United States believes Iran's oil networks helped Tehran fund its nuclear and missile programs and support militant proxies throughout the Middle East. Iran says its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. US Treasury said it was the fourth round of sanctions in which the administration targeted China-based refineries that continue to purchase Iranian oil. French President Emmanuel Macron has invited heads of most of France's political parties, excluding the far right and the hard left, for a meeting at the Élysée Palace on Friday afternoon as he searches for his sixth prime minister in under 2 years. Macron's office had said late on Wednesday he would appoint a new prime minister within 48 hours. After outgoing Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu held 2 days of talks to seek a way out of France's worst political crisis in decades. Pakistan is facing growing unrest as Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan ramps up protest against the army and the government. In Lahore, clashes turned violent with reports of police firing, shelling and acid use, leaving many injured. Though authorities tried to contain the TLP workers, tensions remain high. For now, internet services remain suspended in Islamabad and Rawalpindi to curb the chaos. Let's now take a look at other stories from across the world. The International Criminal Court has rejected requests to release former Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte on medical grounds. Judges say 80-year-old posed a flight risk and could influence witnesses. Duterte faces 3 charges of crimes against humanity linked to his war on drugs. His lawyer claims he is mentally unfit for trial and has filed an appeal. For now, Duterte remains in custody at the ICC's detention unit in the Netherlands. Japan's political scene took a sharp turn on Friday as ruling coalition partner Komeito walked out on the Liberal Democratic Party just days after the party named Sanae Takaichi as its new leader. Takaichi bid for premiership now hangs in balance with the LDP falling 37 seats short of majority, prompting a likely delay in the vote originally expected around October 15th. Komeito said 26-year partnership ended due to LDP's weak response to a political funding scandal. People of Hanoi, capital of Vietnam, are celebrating 71 years since the city's liberation from the French colonial rule on October 10, 1954, a moment that restored Hanoi as the capital of an independent Vietnam. To mark this historic day and ahead of the 18th Congress of the Hanoi Party Committee, the city kicked off 8 major projects in transport, urban growth and culture, reflecting Hanoi's future vision. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live, we talk about IUCN World Conservation Congress in Abu Dhabi. And in cricket, India finished at 318 for 2 at the end of day 1 of second test against the West Indies.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked, we just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Afghanistan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi met India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar at Hyderabad House in New Delhi. External Affairs Minister warmly welcomed Muttaqi and announced that India's technical mission in Kabul would be upgraded to the status of an Indian embassy. He emphasized India's strong commitment to Afghanistan's sovereignty, territorial integrity and independence.
Is fully committed to the sovereignty, territorial integrity and independence of Afghanistan. Closer cooperation between us contributes to your national development as well as regional stability and resilience. To enhance that, I am pleased to announce today the upgrading of India's technical mission in Kabul to the status of Embassy of India.
The Foreign Minister of Afghanistan stated that India-Afghanistan should increase their mutual contact and exchange.
I am happy today that I'm here in Delhi, and this visit will increase or strengthen the understanding between both countries and open a new chapter between these relations. We hope that Afghanistan and India, on an official level and in different areas, increase their engagements and exchanges. We hope that through talks and dialogue we can increase the level of understanding between us. We always sought good relations with India. We will not allow any group to threaten anyone else or use the territory of Afghanistan against others.
India handed over 5 ambulances to Afghanistan, with Minister Jaishankar noting that this forms part of a broader donation of 20 ambulances and additional medical equipment, demonstrating India's continued commitment to support the Afghan people. In other news, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Friday addressed the members of Indian community in Sydney, Australia. Speaking at the event, Minister said India is now the 4th largest economy and the fastest growing one in the world.
पिछले 12 वर्षों में इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी में भारत का कद ऊंचा हुआ है। भारत के प्रति पूरे विश्व में एक सम्मान का भाव बढ़ा है। इसे सहज रूप से सारे लोग स्वीकार करते हैं। उनमें फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी यदि कोई है मेजर इकोनॉमीज में, तो हमारी आज भारत है। यह हमारा एक मेजर अचीवमेंट है, मैं मानता हूं। मैं एक आंकड़े को देख रहा था कि रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के अनुसार 25-26 में भारत की रियल जीडीपी ग्रोथ अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 6.5% तक पहुंच गई है।
Rajnath Singh held a bilateral meeting, also co-chaired Defence Industry Roundtable with Australia's Assistant Minister of Defence, Peter Khalil. The meeting was held under the banner of Comprehensive Strategic Partnership established in 2020, highlighting the pivotal juncture where the two sides are making efforts to reposition defence relations not merely as partners but as co-creators of a secure and prosperous Indo-Pacific.
Our defence industrial partnership, based on joint research and development, innovation, co-creation and co-production, still has an untapped potential. It is in this context that I see this forum as an important instrument to make India and Australia natural allies in business and industry too. Friends, as I see it, this potential nature alliance has compelling economic reasons to be successful and mutually beneficial. Australia excels in niche technologies, quantum systems, autonomous underwater vehicles, and advanced maritime surveillance. India, on the other hand, offers vast manufacturing scale and economies, software prowess, and indigenous capabilities in sectors such as shipbuilding, missile technology, and space.
Indian parliamentary delegation led by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla visited the House of Assembly of Barbados, marking a significant step in strengthening inter-parliamentary cooperation. During his visit, Birla interacted with Indian diaspora in Barbados, praising their contributions and cultural preservation. He emphasized the importance of teaching Indian languages and values to future generations and extended Diwali greetings to the community. In bilateral meetings, Speaker Om Birla met with parliamentary leaders from Zambia, Australia and Jamaica. Discussions focused on enhancing legislative collaboration, sharing best practices and leveraging technology and AI for citizen-centric governance. India's Union Minister Kirtivardan Singh led India's intervention at high-level roundtable with IUCN President Razan Khalifa Al Mubarak during the IUCN World Conservation Congress in Abu Dhabi. The session focused on nature-based solutions for climate action and the path to COP30 in Belém. The minister highlighted the importance of IUCN as a vital bridge that combines traditional and scientific knowledge to shape national strategies for climate mitigation and adaptation.
IUCN can serve as a very important bridge in providing and collecting traditional knowledge, coupled with the latest scientific and technical knowledge in the other countries of the world, and to shape individual countries' strategies for combating climate change and also for mitigation and adaptation.
An all-party consultation meeting took place at President Ramchandra Porey's office on Friday evening to discuss preparations for the upcoming parliamentary elections scheduled for March 5, 2026. The meeting was attended by Interim Prime Minister of Nepal, Sushila Karki, incumbent ministers, and top leaders from major political parties. This marks the first high-level consultations since the Gen Z protests that led to the ouster of KP Sharma Oli's government. Leaders representing key parties including Nepali Congress, CPN, UML, Maoist Centre, Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party and CPN, Unified Socialist, among others, who participated in the discussions. Let's turn to sports. Legendary 9-time Olympic gold medalist Carl Lewis lighted up the pre-event of the 20th edition of Vedanta Delhi Half Marathon. He is the international event ambassador for the event. Lewis shared his excitement for the upcoming World Athletics Gold Label road race while also motivating participants with words that capture the transformative power of sports. During a press conference in New Delhi, Lewis spoke about how he is looking forward to the event while also calling 8-time gold medalist Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record unbreakable.
No, I'm excited about it. It's interesting. You know, I've been to this event before, and to be back here to see the change and the social, with whether it's women, the cultural, the environmental changes are just incredible, and I think it's just a wonderful event for India, really for anywhere in the world. I'm excited to be back. Well, I don't think it's going to be anyone's going to break it anytime soon. No, I don't. I just don't. I don't think right now.
200-meter what?
There's probably a better shot at that. I definitely think it's a better shot at that, but I think the 100s is away for a while.
The US legend also spoke about the lasting impact of athletes like Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt who have had a global sports.
Well, you know, whether it's Michael or Usain or any athlete, it's what you leave. And I think we are all challenged with the opportunity to leave something more than ourselves. Your career is just a conduit to make a difference in other areas. So how do you use that incredible career? I was so fortunate to have incredible parents and great family, the best coach of the 20th century. Talent was there, grit and desire. But at the end, what did I use? Take all of that and use it for others. And so we're all judged. I know Michael has his foundation, and so, you know, because he's dealt with issues. So I think we're ultimately all going to be judged based on what we did after our sport or beyond our sport, because that's the hardest part of our life.
India finished at 318 for 2 at the end of day one of the second test against the West Indies at Arun Jaitley Stadium in New Delhi. Opener Yashasvi Jaiswal smashed his 7th test century in style. He remained unbeaten on 173 runs. The other young left-hander at the crease, Sai Sudarshan, also smashed a half-century as West Indies' attack failed to break through the defences of Indian batters. The only highlight of the day for West Indies came in the first session when KL Rahul fell short of his 50 after being deceived by Jomel Varikan's spin. India lead the two-match series 1-0 and will be eyeing a clean sweep against an out-of-form West Indies. High-stakes FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers are set to take place on Friday night. Belgium host North Macedonia with the opportunity to leapfrog their visitors and take the top spot in their qualifying group. Belgium secured a 1-1 draw in the reverse fixture in Skopje to kick off the qualifying campaign in June. Belgium sits second in the standings on 10 points from 4 games, one behind North Macedonia, who have played 5 matches. Meanwhile, Germany's national team is gearing up for their fixture against Luxembourg. The Germans host Luxembourg before travelling to Belfast to face Northern Ireland 3 days later. Both teams are at bottom of their qualifying group, with Germany placed at 3rd spot with 3 points and Luxembourg at 4th and last spot with 0 points. That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.